Imagine walking your dog on a peaceful morning, only to find yourself face to face with a 6-foot kangaroo flexing like it just got out of the gym. What would you do? For one Australian man, this wasn't just a hypothetical, it was a real-life battle to save his beloved dog from the iron grip of a jacked kangaroo in the middle of a river. You're about to witness one of the wildest, most intense encounters between man and nature ever caught on camera. Buckle up, because this is a tale you won't forget. Welcome to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where we bring you the most thrilling, jaw-dropping stories of humans and animals colliding in extraordinary ways. From daring rescues to nail-biting showdowns, we've got it all, and today's story might just top them all. We're diving into the wild world of Mick Moloney, a martial artist who put his skills and his bravery to the ultimate test against a kangaroo so muscular it could have been a movie villain. Stick around as we break down the epic showdown and uncover what really happens when you take on one of Australia's toughest animals. But before we dive deeper, let's make a deal. If you love unbelievable stories like this one, don't just watch, be part of our journey. Hit that like button to show your love for Hatchi and Mick's bravery. Share this video with your friends to spread the awe and laughter, because seriously, who wouldn't want to hear about a kangaroo fight? And hey, while you're at it, drop us a comment. What would you do if you found your dog in a kangaroo's grip? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to Savage Tales Animal Encounters so you never miss a single wild ride. And make sure to ring that notification bell, because every time you hear it, it means another thrilling adventure is waiting for you. All right, folks, it's been a wild one, and we're just getting started. Stay curious, stay safe, and always respect the wild. This is Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where nature tells the craziest stories and we bring them straight to you. Until next time, keep exploring and remember, life is savage, but so are we. It started as a tranquil morning along the serene banks of the Murray River in Mildura, Victoria. Mick Moloney, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor and avid dog lover, was out for a routine walk with his 2 Akitas. The air was cool, the water gently rippled, and the vibrant sounds of Australian wildlife created the perfect backdrop for a peaceful outing. As Moloney and his dogs meandered along the familiar trail, everything seemed ordinary, until it wasn't. His loyal companion, Hatchi, suddenly vanished from view. At first, Moloney assumed the dog was simply exploring nearby, sniffing around the reeds or chasing a bird into the brush. But as moments passed with no sign of Hatchi, Moloney's concern grew. Scanning the area, his eyes were drawn to an unusual scene in the water. Behind a cluster of tall reeds, a hulking figure loomed, a massive kangaroo standing chest-deep in the river, motionless yet undeniably imposing. Its powerful stance and unyielding gaze immediately set off alarm bells in Moloney's mind. And then he saw it. Hatchi, struggling against the kangaroo's iron grip, gasping as water gushed from his mouth. Moloney's heart raced as the gravity of the situation became clear. Hatchi wasn't just in trouble, he was in a fight for his life. The kangaroo had Hatchi in a vice-like headlock, holding him beneath the surface in what seemed like a deliberate attempt to drown the helpless dog. In disbelief, Moloney instinctively shouted, hoping to scare the kangaroo into releasing Hatchi. But the kangaroo stood its ground, its muscular arms unwavering and its eyes locked onto Moloney with an almost defiant glare. For a moment, the world seemed to freeze, the weight of the situation pressing down on Moloney like the river's murky depths. Realizing that shouting wasn't going to cut it, Moloney made a split-second decision. He had to act. With no time to waste and Hatchi's life hanging by a thread, Moloney dropped his phone into recording mode, waded into the cold water and prepared for what was about to be the fight of his life. And that's where everything changed. With adrenaline surging through his veins, Moloney closed the distance between himself and the kangaroo, ready to do whatever it took to save his beloved dog. What happened next was a clash that no one, least of all Moloney, could have ever anticipated. As Mick Moloney waded further into the cold, murky waters of the Murray River, every step felt like it weighed him down even more. His heart pounded in his chest as he locked eyes with the massive kangaroo, its steely, muscular form exuding an almost predatory calm. The once serene landscape had now turned into a battle zone. Hatchi, gasping for air, was still caught in the kangaroo's unrelenting grip. The scene was surreal, like something out of a primal confrontation, the man versus the beast. Moloney took a deep breath and mustered all his courage. His years of martial arts and jiu-jitsu training were about to be put to the test in a way he never imagined. He yelled at the kangaroo, hoping that the sound of his voice might make it reconsider its hold. "Let go of my dog!" he shouted, his voice cracking with urgency. But the kangaroo's eyes remained unblinking, its powerful arms tightening around Hatchi's neck. The creature didn't flinch. Instead, it shifted its body slightly, a clear warning that it wasn't backing down. "I'm gonna punch your fucking head in!" Moloney roared, his voice filled with an unwavering determination. With no time to waste, he lunged forward, fists raised, and swung at the kangaroo. The impact was a blur. His punch landed hard on the kangaroo's head, but it didn't seem to faze the animal. The kangaroo's thick, muscular frame absorbed the blow, and it responded with a swift, retaliatory move of its own. In an instant, the kangaroo surged forward with an explosive force, pushing against Moloney with incredible strength. It used its powerful forearms and claws to strike out, landing a vicious blow that sent Moloney staggering backward. The man splashed into the water as he lost his footing, his phone flying from his hand, briefly losing the recording of the struggle. The cold water surged around him as he tumbled under the surface, disoriented for a split second. Moloney resurfaced quickly, gasping for air and his senses on high alert. His phone was floating somewhere nearby, but there was no time to worry about that now. The kangaroo had shifted its focus. Hatchi, still trapped in its grip, seemed to have been released during the commotion. The dog swam furiously to the shore, his face a mixture of confusion and relief. He was free, but the battle wasn't over yet. The kangaroo, still standing in the water, adjusted its stance. It wasn't retreating, nor was it making a move to flee. Instead, it stood there, rippling with muscles and flexing its powerful legs. Its expression was one of calm defiance, as if daring Moloney to make the next move. Moloney could see the animal's eyes, cold, calculating. It was clear the kangaroo wasn't just some scared herbivore. This was a formidable opponent, and it wasn't finished. Moloney, now feeling the sting of his forearm from the hit and his body's fatigue from the tussle, took a deep breath and glanced at Hatchi on the shore. The dog was safe, but the situation was far from over. The kangaroo hadn't retreated, and Moloney knew he couldn't just turn his back. He splashed water in the kangaroo's face, a last-ditch effort to distract it, to buy time for both him and Hatchi to get away from the dangerous river's edge. But the kangaroo wasn't done. It lunged one more time, the sheer force of its body pushing Moloney back once more. The man, now soaked and battered, finally backed off, his adrenaline and strength waning, but his resolve firm. He looked at Hatchi, who had managed to scramble up the bank, then turned back to the kangaroo, which still stood its ground. In the aftermath, Moloney and Hatchi made their way to the shore, their hearts still racing. The kangaroo, however, showed no signs of backing down. It remained in the water, almost as if watching them, its primal instincts alert to any further movements. Moloney couldn't believe what had just transpired. He had taken on a kangaroo of all creatures and walked away with his dog in tow. He laughed nervously, the tension from the fight still thick in the air. "That's a draw," he muttered, his forearm aching from the powerful hit. As they made their way back to safety, Moloney checked on Hatchi, who seemed shaken but otherwise unharmed. His heart swelled with relief, knowing his dog had made it through the ordeal. Later, when Moloney shared the video of the encounter on social media, the reactions were immediate. Viewers were astonished by the sheer audacity of the battle. Many couldn't believe what they had witnessed. An everyday man fighting off a kangaroo with nothing but his fists and his will to protect his dog. The video went viral, racking up millions of views as people all over the world marveled at Moloney's bravery and the raw power of the kangaroo. Despite the viral fame, Moloney remained humble. He knew he had survived a close call, one that could have ended very differently. The kangaroo had certainly shown its strength, but in the end, Moloney had done what was needed to save his dog. The scars, both physical and emotional, would fade, but the memory of that day, the man versus the kangaroo, would remain with him forever. As the video comes to an end, we hope you enjoyed this wild, heart-pounding journey with Mick Moloney and his heroic battle to save his dog from a massive kangaroo. What an unbelievable encounter, right? But it's just another example of the raw, untamed world we live in, where the unexpected can happen at any moment. Before you go, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this intense animal encounter, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment below. Have you ever had a close call with wildlife? Or maybe you have some epic animal stories of your own? Let us know. We're all about sharing those savage tales. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss an exciting new adventure. Ring that notifications bell so you'll be the first to know when we upload new content from the wildest, most thrilling animal encounters from around the world. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Savage Tales, animal encounters where the adventure never ends and every encounter is more savage than the last. Stay safe out there and remember, the wild never sleeps. Savage Tales, animal encounters. Until next time, keep exploring.